Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has concluded his visit to Germany, where he attended the G7 summit on Monday at the invite of German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. The Indian Prime Minister has reached United Arab Emirates for a day-long visit. The UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan warmly received the Indian Prime Minister in Abu Dhabi. Prime Minister Modi will pay his condolences on the passing away of Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the former president of UAE. The former leader of the Gulf nation passed away on May 13th at the age of 73. In Abu Dhabi, Prime Minister Modi also held a meeting with the UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. In Germany, the Indian Prime Minister held hectic bilaterals and discussions on climate change. On Monday, the Indian Prime Minister's camaraderie with the G7 world leaders was on full display as he held a series of bilaterals on the sidelines of the summit. The moment which grabbed eyeballs was when US President Joe Biden approached Prime Minister Modi and tapped him on the shoulders as he chatted to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed a special session on climate change. He pushed back against the suggestion that developing countries cause more damage to the environment. The Prime Minister said that India, which is home to 17% of the world's population, accounted for only 5% of global carbon emissions. He also said that access to energy shouldn't be the privilege of only the rich. The Prime Minister also met German Chancellor Olaf Scholz on the sidelines of the G7. The two sides discussed climate action and agreed to deepen trade and investment. This was the second meeting between the two leaders this year, following India-Germany intergovernmental consultations in Berlin on May 2nd. Prime Minister Modi also met South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. The two welcomed the WTO agreement supporting production of COVID vaccines in developing countries. The Indian leader also met his Canadian counterpart Justin Trudeau and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. The Prime Minister gifted each of the leaders something unique from India, while Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau got a hand-knotted silk carpet. Italian Prime Minister got a marble inlay tabletop. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson got a platinum-painted hand tea set, and President Biden received a brooch and cufflink. And for more on this, our correspondent Sithan Sibal is now joining us from Germany. Sithan Sibal, good to see you. The summit has wrapped up. What did the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz say as he was closing the event?
Well, the big focus remained on the Russian invasion of Ukraine. We saw the joint statement, a 28-page joint statement, in which focus was essentially on the Russian actions in Ukraine. Now, we know that sanctions have been announced in terms of crude oil being imported from Russia, the use of Russian gold. It is primarily to make sure that there is a cost when it comes to Russia's invasion, ongoing invasion in Ukraine. In fact, even as the G7 summit was underway, we saw the Russian strikes happening in Kiev and also at a shopping mall in the country, which was strongly condemned by the G7 countries. In fact, the joint statement also mentioned about other things. One, of course, was China, strongly criticizing China essentially when it comes to its actions in the South China Sea. And of course also saying that China should not unilaterally try to change the situation. Now, there is no mention of India-China tiff which has happened, but it actually is something that will be music to ears when it comes to New Delhi. But largely, if you look at other focus areas, it was on climate change, on sustainable development, and the part that the developing countries, the countries from the global south like India, Indonesia, South Africa, Senegal and Argentina participated, added to the weightage in terms of the entire summit which was underway in Germany. The summit, of course, is over, and now, of course, the focus shifts to Madrid, where the NATO summit happens, and we can expect similar kind of statements from that summit. But the big question is, while there have been joint statements and press releases and leaders condemning Russian actions, what support these leaders are going to give on ground practically to the Ukrainian leadership and to the Ukrainian people. We saw the Ukrainian President Zelensky addressing the G7 leaders and hoping to get more support, especially when it comes to defense.
Live from Munich, our correspondent Siddhant Sibal, thank you very much for that. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.